it back to the Blazor puzzle. I'm Heat Miser from AppFiendX.com. It's my hair. Otherwise known as Carl Franklin. And that's Jeff Fritz from Microsoft. Hey, man, how are you?
Good to see you, Carl. Great to be back in the mainland, back in the friendly confines, the home studio.
Yeah. Hey, one thing you might notice, kids, today is that we'll be using Edge instead of Chrome because Chrome decided a couple hours ago to completely hose Blazor Server apps.
Stay tuned for more fun.
Yeah.
With your friends, Carl and Jeff.
Yeah. So we're not going to ask you why it doesn't work in Chrome because there's nothing you can do about it except wait for a fix.
That's right.
But we should get back into it now with last week's puzzle. All right, so this is a weird problem. All I want is a parameter, and I called it arg, on the home page, on the default page, right? Here's my string arg, right? Ooh, I got zoom it down today. And I got a message, and on initialize, I set the message to, here's the message and pass in arg. And then I just show it right up here. And here's what happens.
Now, this is a good example of someplace where you might be collecting some parameters. You want to configure your home page based on preferences or whatever.
And there you go. What happened to the CSS? Dude, what kind of voodoo is this?
Right. This is one of these bugs that's going to give you fits.
It's complete. I didn't touch the CSS, right? It's completely unrelated. But here is the solution. We add a constraint to this argument, non-file. And the reason we have to do this is because this is the default route, right? This is the root. And so if you don't put this in, the router goes to fetch the CSS file and thinks args is the folder where the CSS file is in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just make sure that it works. And there you go.
Yep.
Everything happy. So a few alert listeners actually went to the GitHub repo at ASP.NET where I filed this as a potential bug or an issue anyway. And they came right back and say, oh, here's how you do that, non-file. After scouring the internet, and I couldn't find anything about non-file or this. This is a heinous problem.
This is right. We're used to seeing route constraints with things like this should be a number, this should be a date format, this should match a regular expression. But non-file is kind of a forgotten route constraint that doesn't get a lot of love. So to call that out here is something that we felt was kind of important so that when you do set up routing, maybe you're going to have routing around a product details page or something and you want to pass in a name of it or an ID as a slug or something like that. This is going to catch you if you have similar routes set up that you're going to process for APIs or something.
Right. That was a good one.
Yeah.
So we picked a winner at random, and that winner is, drum roll please, Liu William.
Woo! Congratulations.
Congratulations, Liu. I'm going to show you what you're going to get right here. Oh, yes. It's the Blazor puzzle mug.
There it is.
And also you're going to get one of these. The Blazor puzzle t-shirt.
Nice.
In all its glory. All right. Let's jump into next week's puzzle.
Fantastic.
All right. So, Jeff, this is yours. So why don't you tell us what we're looking at here. I see a Windows Forms app and a Blazor app. What is this?
Yeah. Right. So one of the cool things that we know we can do with Blazor apps that's been happening with .NET MAUI and with the BlazorWebView is we can put our Blazor app inside of native applications. So .NET MAUI, which means we get access to Windows, iOS, Android, Mac OS, but we can also put it inside of WPF and Windows Forms apps. Now, I wanted to use a Windows Forms app for going through and adding some of my Blazor pages into.
Mm-hmm.
And I stumbled upon something that was very interesting here. There's a handful of things you have to do to set up your Windows Forms application so you can use a BlazorWebView. And I followed a couple of tutorials that are out there on the Microsoft Docs. You can see if you look inside the CS Proj, I add a reference to the WebView component. I also added a reference to QuickGrid so that I can use a QuickGrid on my Blazor view. We'll see that in just a minute.
Interesting.
I brought over, I inside of Form 1 CS, inside the Windows Forms app, I added my Blazor WebView on the designer, and you'll see that when the designer loads up here.
Okay.
So I've added my Blazor WebView there. It says WebView 2, but it's a Blazor WebView.
Yeah.
And if we look at the code underlying this with that F7 gesture here, you see I've added an index HTML that's out there that lives inside my dub root folder. There it is. I added a little bit of CSS in there that it references so that it looks somewhat decent.
Yeah.
And I added routes that lands on the app folder, and I added as a start path the episodes location here, because what I want to do, I actually copied over. Remember, Carl, back in Puzzle 27, we had a quick grid with a list of episodes that we put on the screen, and that was kind of cool. I wanted to reuse that quick grid and show how we could put it into a Windows Forms app.
Okay.
Well, so if you go inside the Blazor app there's a components folder, and inside there's episodes, pages, and then Episodes.razor, right? And it's just a quick grid with a list of episode objects that are a couple of records, right?
Right.
Piece of cake. It's data. We're going to show it on screen, and it works just fine inside the Blazor app.
Should we run it inside the Blazor app just to prove that it works?
Sure. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Episodes. There it is.
There it is. Right. And we can sort the grid, all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I put sort on number and publish date.
Okay.
So there you go. Right. Server interactive, piece of cake.
Yeah.
But it'd be really neat to have this exact same page inside of Windows Forms app.
Mm-hmm.
So can you help me out? Let's add that. I just want to add it as an existing item and do that add as link gimmick here, right?
All right. So I'll go up here and I'll say add existing item.
Yep.
And we'll go over to Puzzle 31.
There we go.
Components, pages.
Change the filter.
All files. And now go to episodes.
And then that add button is a split button. There you go. And you can say add as link.
Right. And so that adds it sort of as a file reference.
Exactly. It just creates a reference and says, well, I'm going to reference this file. I want it to land here, but it actually lives over there in the other project.
Right. So if I make changes over here in the Blazor file and save it, it's going to reflect inside.
It updates it there also.
Yeah.
Great way to share code between projects, but it'll compile that source code separately between them. Okay. It's not really a reference, but it's more of a code share. So there we go. We added our episodes. Let's go ahead and try running the Windows Forms application now.
Right. I'll set that as the startup, and here we go. Okay. Not found.
Not found. So
what's up with that?
Right? Like, as a Blazor developer, I know that I can just add Razor files to projects, and they just start working. So I'm not quite sure what the problem is here. We
need your help.
Can you help us out here?
Yeah.
What do we need to do to make that Episodes.razor file present inside the Windows Forms app?
Yeah. This is a good puzzle and something that you can obsess over all week until we meet again next week, when we'll probably go back to using Chrome again. But you never know.
I don't know. Maybe Firefox or Opera or
maybe Opera.
Brave.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out BlazorTrain.com and the .NETShow.com for more great content.